Okay, we are live. Let me double check. All right. This is episode 11. First one in like 3 weeks. So I will probably be a little bit rusty, but we'll get by as always. There's two quick things first. Thanks to everyone that bought stickers and t-shirts. I think it was like 12 total orders, which actually helps quite a bit. So thanks again. And then QR code at the top should bring you to the Spotify if you want to listen to this when it's done or any other past episodes. Tonight, we're joined by Layne Neal. He's got a decade of experience in both volunteer and career service. He serves at Station 2 with the Auburn, Indiana Fire Department. He's instructor with Roughneck Firemanship and a member of the truck cadre at the Oathkeepers Fire Conference. Driven by a passion for training and operational excellence, he's dedicated to continually improving his craft to better serve his community at the highest level. How are you doing?
Fantastic. How are you?
Good. Yeah, just thanks for coming on. I do appreciate it. I know we bounced around the dates a few times. Um, but yeah, just go into like a little bit how you got started in the fire service. Um, go into that, and then kind of when you first realized that there's something going on and there's a lot more than you had first expected. If you had like a moment when you first realized that, or if it kind of like came with time.
Yeah, okay. So I honestly, I was never interested in the fire service growing up. Every other fireman I know, they grew up around the fire service or always dreamed of being a fireman. I really never had that. I really didn't ever think about the fire department. Um, and then I got recruited by the chief of the small department I grew up in their coverage area when I turned 18, and I joined, and I loved it. And I was there for a couple years, and then I got hired full time at a smaller department. Was there for a couple years and moved to Auburn. I've been here for just over 5 years now, and it's great. Um, so that first 5 years though, I'll be the first to admit I was a slug. I was an absolute slug. I thought Fire 1 and 2 taught me everything I needed to know, and I was great. I was fantastic. I thought until a buddy took me to Oathkeepers Fire Conference back in 2021, and I really had my eyes open to how much I didn't know. And that has been a drive of mine ever since to be better than that and pass on everything I can to make the next guy better than I am.
Sweet. Yeah, that's like a common theme where people don't really realize that, and I didn't either. I know I'm still like pretty young. I'm still only 18, but I'm glad I got that realization pretty early on. But if you kind of want to talk a little bit about the Oathkeepers Fire Conference specifically, I know I didn't ask you that beforehand, but just kind of like plug that because I know it's super awesome training opportunity for anybody.
Yeah, so Oathkeepers Fire Conference, it's out of the Cincinnati area. Um, Honestly, man, it's one of the best fire conferences out there. And I don't just say that because I teach there. I was a student there for 4 years, and there are some top-notch instructors at that conference that will pour their hearts out into you for 3 days straight and make sure that you come away way better than you came. It's, I mean, all about the basics. It's a day of engine, a day of truck, and it is just hammering home, flowing and moving, stretching. As much as I would rather be on the truck side, and then on the truck side, we're forcing doors, throwing ladders, banging out searches. It's a great weekend.
Awesome.
We keep the students small, the student numbers small, so you're getting a lot of one-on-one with instructors to really hone everything in.
Sweet. That's awesome. I definitely need to attend at some point. You're big on functional fitness and training, and just first of all, I love that. We need more of that. I kind of want to base this question from perspective of a new person who isn't really introduced or really isn't into the fitness stuff, but wants to be. Some like workouts or things that they need to know. Just some recommendations or anything on the like functional fitness. If you want to go down there.
So I'm really big on not just, yes, functional fitness. I'm all about working out in gear and doing stuff. But we've got to be well rounded too. It doesn't do us any good if we can get there and run forever in our gear, but we can't drag someone out, right?
Right.
So, basis, you need to be in good or get in shape first off. Running, lifting, that sort of thing. And then starting into gear workouts, you don't have to do anything crazy. It doesn't have to. I do crazy things sometimes. I do some brutal workouts in gear, but just putting your gear on and going out and doing something simple like carrying a sandbag around, doing dummy drags, walking stairs in your gear, just getting used to that heat stress and that limited range of motion your gear causes is a game changer for anybody.
For sure. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm in a functional fitness class right now, and we kind of do it like 1 week is like in the gym, so strength focused, and then the second would be like a kind of like a CPAT, getting people prepared for that, and then the third is like a gear workout. So is there like a specific plan that you follow, or like a page that gives you workouts, or do you just kind of make up your own stuff for that?
No, I'm not that smart to make up my own stuff. Right now, I'm doing Logan Broberg's Rogue Operator 2 is the program I'm following. That's Rogue Firemanship. I'm going to be bouncing back and forth between that and Marcos Orozco's Hard Knocks Heavy, which is a 12-week program, nothing but gear workouts. So Logan throws gear workouts into his too, but there's a lot more strength focus. Marcos is purely a gear plan. So I just bounce back and forth between those two programs.
Got it. And then do you like focus a lot on the diet end of it too? I know it's kind of getting pretty specific, but I'm interested.
Yes and no.
Okay.
I track calories, I track macros. I try not to eat like crap, but I'm no Jay Cutler, right? I'm no Arnold Schwarzenegger. Right. I'm not like that crazy about it. I still go out, my wife and I still go out and, go to dinner. I will still occasionally eat ice cream for those of you crazy guys who are here that know me. I do occasionally eat not healthy things. I try to do healthy meals as much as I can, but I'm not like anal about it, I guess, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I got you. How would you go about, we'll kind of paint a scenario here for you. How would you go about points towards a person that is not really into working out? Maybe they are just out of shape, maybe they just have no motivation, like whatever it is. How would you go about bringing that up to a person that you're close to? So whether it's like an officer or a friend or whoever it is, like how would you go about that?
Sometimes the truth hurts. I'm lucky, and all of my friends in my circle they work out. They might not work out as crazily as I do, and I understand that not everybody needs to do some of the crazy stuff I do. But I guess being honest with them, right? They've got to. They're going to know if they're training, if they're doing anything, if they're winded after a simple fire alarm call. They're going to know. You don't have to be mean about it, but sometimes being upfront about it is the best way to go about it, I guess.
Right.
I'm maybe not the best person to ask about that, but
no, I got you. Have you, prior to the fire service, were you always into fitness, or was that something that came along during that period?
So I played football through middle school and high school, so I was working out all the time. I was on the track team. Went to college for a semester and played a little bit of college football, so I worked out there. And then when I got into the fire service, I fell down the rabbit hole a lot of people do, and turned 21, started drinking, and quit working out for a couple years. And really started suffering, obviously, on calls. And that was when I knew it was time to, hey, I got to do something different. And that was when Fit to Fight Fire was really starting to take off. So I started doing gear workouts and getting back into working out. And I've still got progress to make.
Right.
Everybody does, I think.
Yeah.
But
no, got it. That's awesome. Just if anybody has any questions for Layne, go ahead and throw them in the chat. I'll make sure to get those to him. I guess I kind of want to, if we can talk about your department specifically and kind of like how you guys do things, if that's all right. I just kind of want to know like what kind of like searches you guys are doing, what the training's like, the search culture, just kind of like details and stuff like that. I love hearing about if you're willing to talk about your department. I know some people.
I will. We'll talk about it a little bit.
Okay.
So we're just a 2-house department. On a good day, there's 7 of us. On a light day, there's 5 or 6 of us right now because of some staffing issues we've got going on and trying to get dudes hired. So, I mean, we're rolling up with 6 of us and maybe a chief or 2, depending on the time of day. And then got mutual aid coming from the department next door, but they're all volunteers, so they're going to be behind. We're currently working on our search culture. There's some of us who are real laid up about search and trying to push. We search, but we're trying to be more proactive and aggressive with it, right?
Right.
The search is obviously, it's going to depend on the officer right now. We don't really have a playbook for it yet. We're not to that point yet. We're working on it. So, I mean, I'm big on split searching. My crew's big on split searching. But other guys are doing more of an oriented search.
Okay. Got it. So you're relatively new still to that department. But before we started, you said you were working with like a new guy in forcible entry. Kind of like the whole basis of where I'm like starting this podcast was things that the new guy can do, some tips and stuff. So and from your position, what are some things that like you see in a new, like a probationary person, like some things that you look for specifically, and you can go like just attitude or like their actual actions, just stuff like that.
Just someone willing to learn, man. You've got to be willing to learn, and you've got to understand. And it's a battle I still deal with sometimes 10 years into it, that there's more than one way to do things. I try to show people as many ways as I can, even if it's not a way I prefer, because I want them to find what works for them. And that's the important part, is finding something that works for you. I mean, nothing I do is anything I came up with. It's either something I've taught, completely adopted, or bits and pieces of different techniques that I have blended together to make work for myself.
Right. Got it.
So just being willing to learn and open to multiple ways of doing things.
Yeah,
and knowing
for sure.
that you're not going to be good at it the first time you do it. You're not going to be good at it the 200th time you do it, right?
Yeah. It's okay. So I don't know if you can. Yeah, you should be able to see that. But what are your top drills for daily trainings at the station? And what is your biggest piece of advice for new firemen?
Ethan, what is up? So I do a schedule that I kind of built myself. So Saturdays and Sundays are either search or scenarios that I just kind of build out my own little scenario. Mondays I stretch lines. Tuesdays I do like turnout gear drills. Wednesdays flow and water. Thursdays is ladders. Fridays is forcible entry. And I do that whatever days my shift falls on. That's what I work on. Obviously, if we do fire attack training, then I probably don't do that. But if we're doing rope training or some other training, hazmat training or something that day, I'm still going to do that after my workout that evening and get that fire training in, because that's what we're here for, right?
Right.
And then biggest piece of advice for new firemen is just be open, man. Be willing to learn, listen, absorb everything you can. Get outside of the department you're in, and don't just take things. Don't just listen to people just because they've been there forever, right? Like, actually try things. Don't just assume that they're right because they've been there 20 years.
For sure. That's it's something that I've been grappling with lately. Let's see. Another question for Layne about firefighter health and wellness when it comes to sleep. Individual bunk rooms or community bunk rooms. I know both have pros and cons.
I know both have pros and cons. I get the pros, but man, the camaraderie that you can build in a combined bunk room just is second to none. I know, trust me, we've got some snorers and I get it, but man, the nothing beats hanging out with your dudes after a long day and maybe pranking each other a little bit.
But
And
no,
just
that's
that camaraderie of being there with your guys.
right. So how I don't know if you said that earlier, but how busy like is your station over your department? Like what's like a day usually look like? I know it's a loaded question, but
Yeah, it depends. We do about 1,700 calls a year out of
okay.
2 stations. So it's pretty well split evenly. So we're both, I mean, one might be a couple more calls than the other. We average 800 to 900 calls each station a year.
Okay.
So, I mean, it comes and goes. I mean, I've had days where I haven't moved for 2 or 3 shifts in a row, and then we won't sleep and we'll be up all night. It's just,
Right.
it's hit or miss. I mean, so we're not busy by any means, but we're not slow for the size of our city.
Okay. Got it. I have another loaded question that I've talked to people not only on here but just like personal phone calls as well. And I've kind of got both sides of the answers, so I kind of want to hear yours. Who is number one on the fire ground? And I've heard like the people say, you know, like the firefighters the number one. Like if we don't take care of ourselves, how can we help the victim? And then the flip of that, right? So I kind of want to hear your take on that.
Man, the citizens are always first. It's just how it is. Like without them, we have no job, right? Our job is literally saving lives and protecting property. And without the citizens, there is no fire department, right? I understand the whole we can't take care of them if we don't take care of ourselves, but putting your own safety above the people you've sworn oath to serve is that's not what we're here for, right? Nobody's condoning going on a suicide mission. That's not what I'm condoning, but I want you to go in and if you can search it and find people and remove them. And if you can't search it, flow some water and make it so you can search it and get in there and find them. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you 100%. And I've heard like from some pretty higher up people, I guess, the complete opposite of that answer. And so I hear that sometimes it's like, you know, the firefighters number one, like that doesn't mean we're not gonna care for the victim, but like we have to take care of ourselves. But then in my head, I kind of think what you think too, and it's like, well, they are first. Another question that I just asked Mike Bernard the other day, and it's very situational dependent, but to kind of go off this, you've got a structure fire, you've got an engine crew inside on fire attack. There's confirmed entrapment inside of the house. Your search crew is in there searching, and let's say two-man search crew, and one of them calls a mayday on the search crew. You have another company outside. How would you go about sending the people on the outside for the victim that's still inside, or send them to the mayday? Would you make fire attack go here? I know it's a crazy question, but kind of your initial thoughts on that.
So what part of the crew was it on, or which crew were they part of? Did you say?
The search crew called the mayday.
Just one of them though.
Correct.
So, I mean, are you familiar with Project Mayday?
Yeah, very little, very little.
So, what is it? Something like, I'm going to butcher the numbers here because I'm not a big RIT guy. 80% of Maydays were handled by other crews, right? I mean, we're in a house. If we're searching, even if we're split searching, what's the most I am away from him,
Right.
right? So I'm probably as the other searcher going to go grab him and get him out, and then
Okay.
probably continue, or we'll figure it out from there, right? It's going to
Right.
depend. Was he just lost, or are we talking
Right.
like a cardiac event,
Right.
right? But at the end of the day, even once the Mayday has been mitigated, we still have a job to do. We've still got a fire to put out. We still got
Mhm.
searches to get figured out, right?
Yeah. And I know that's a loaded question with a million different possibilities. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I know we already touched kind of on the outside training. I'll kind of ask this: how would you sell the outside training to a person that might be against it or a person that's never heard of it? I know there's a lot of people, at least that I know, that are very stuck in their ways. Like, we've been doing this for 25 years. It's just how we do it. So, like, how would you go about that
So
conversation again?
I mean, it's you deal with it everywhere, right? It's man, just getting outside and even just the networking, hanging out with my friends, right? I mean, the amount of guys that I see that I've seen in this chat already that I only get to see at classes, right? My friends that are from across the country, even just that side of it, making friends and networking, and just the little things you can pick up there, even if it's not fireground skills, just life skills. Um, like I said, the relationships you build with people that you'd never meet otherwise. The recharge of seeing that you're not the only place that has these issues, right? I can go talk to, Mike Bernard from South Canada, and he's got the same issues that I've got here in Indiana, right?
Right.
Um, but on top of that, just going and getting outside of your own bubble and seeing that there are other ways to do things, right? I had that mentality when I first started. That's how, I mean, I was that way. I learned what I needed to know from the department I was on, and by God, that's what I need to know, right? Most of these guys have been here a lot longer than me, and then you start going to classes and learning that hey, there's better ways to do things out there. There's more efficient ways to do things out there. There's things that maybe just work for our staffing model better than what we're doing, right? And you've got to understand that not everything you're going to learn is always applicable, right? Depending on
Right.
what class you're going to and where you're at. Something that works for FDNY is not going to work for Minocqua, right? But just getting outside of your own bubble and realizing how much there is to learn and how much fun I have. An absolute blast in classes, an absolute blast, whether I'm teaching or a student. It is some of the most fun I have. I look forward to classes all the time. I am giddy as a schoolgirl every time.
That's awesome. Let's see. Anthony Crossgrove, are you going to do smoke divers again, or are you going to take a break to focus more on yourself and your department?
So I did not put in this year. I put in the last couple. I have not been able to qualify yet. The only reason I didn't put in this year is because it falls the week after my wedding in February. Or no,
Got it.
sorry, the week before my reception in March. Sorry, my schedule's all jam-packed up, so I did not put in for it this year, Tony. But I plan on putting in for it for 2027.
Sweet. Well, congrats on the wedding. I did. That's sweet. Is there anything is there anything that is on your mind specifically that you want to speak about? I can ask this question too, but just if there's anything that you want to throw out there at all, feel free. Yeah, I guess we'll go here. When it comes to mentorship in the fire service, when you're not getting it in your own department, how do you go about forming that relationship with someone outside?
Just talking to a man. I mean, if it's someone you're like at a class with, learning from, even, man, as much as we all rag on social media, the ability to be in contact with people, just reach out to them. I have made so many mentors going to classes and just talking to people, and it's intimidating at first, right? I mean, some of these names that you see on all these podcasts and teaching at, FDIC and Water on the Fire and firemanship and stuff, right? But I'm proud to call a lot of those people very good friends now, just because I
Right.
was willing to go up and talk to them. And I mean, a lot of those people are, whether they know it or not, are mentors to me. So just being able to talk to those people and reaching out. I don't know any instructors or likewise that I know that are in it for anything other than to better the fire service and better other people. And we're all willing to help
Right.
any way we can.
Yeah, and that's just something I've seen across the board. Like I had Frank, Lieb, and Dina, and like I didn't really understand, like pretty big name people in the fire service and how like willing they are to just like come on here. I have like not that many people that watch, and so like people that are super willing to share their
Right.
experiences and stuff is super awesome, and I don't think you find that like anywhere else.
No, no other profession has that.
Right. Um, how I know we kind of went down this, but how can you help the older firefighters get out of the bubble? As I'm assuming, like the stuck in their ways thing, which I know we kind of
Right.
just
So I
talked
know
about, but
I was listening to your episode with Tyler Whitfield
mhm,
last night. And I know he talked about it too. At least I think that was him. I watched so many podcasts, so if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But they were talking about sometimes it's better to just come back and show skills, right?
right,
Sometimes some of the old guys at my department don't care. They don't care when I come back giddy with 18 pages of notes from the lectures and some new ways to do stuff. They don't care.
right,
So I've learned who I can share with, right? Who I can share stuff with, and who otherwise I just kind of wait, and then all of a sudden I get that opportunity at a call or a training to do something, and they're like, "Whoa, that worked! That worked really well. Can you show me that?" And I think with some people, especially people who are more stuck in their ways, that's the best way to go about it. Because, like I said, shoving it down their throat's not the right answer, right? That's
right,
just, you're going to force more people away than you're going to get on your side doing it that way.
right. Let's see. Okay. Do you at your department? Do you guys have like what are your training props? I guess like do you have a like a burn tower or anything like that? And if not, like what are some I guess things that you do if you don't have that?
So we are extraordinarily blessed to be a state-sponsored training facility through the state of
Okay,
Indiana.
sweet.
So we have got 3 burn buildings right now: a 2-story house, a single-story house on a walkout basement, and a 3-story building that's broke up. Like, the 3rd story is hotel rooms, the 2nd story is 3 apartments, and the 1st story is like a strip mall.
Okay,
And then we've also got a bunch of tech rescue props. We've got a 6-story tower. We've got a flashover can. Like, we're blessed. We are. We've
awesome.
got entry props. It's awesome. It's honestly what drew me to this department.
Right.
Just when they have this nice training facility.
Yep.
You don't need all that fancy stuff to get good at the basics either, though, right?
Right.
I mean, we're lucky. We usually burn at least once a month, except for through the winter. Obviously, it's kind of weather dependent.
Right.
But I mean, all you need is the willingness, right? If you've got a
Hmm.
parking lot, yeah, parking. We don't fight many parking lot fires, but you can at least go work on flowing and moving through a parking lot, right?
Right.
It's art. It's something, right? You've got a station. You can set up a little maze and search through your station. You've got a station you can throw ladders against. Now, I'm not, condoning damaging your station. I get it, but I throw ladders against the station if I'm detailed to our other house all the time. I mean, there's so many things you can do without necessarily needing a whole lot of stuff, right?
Right.
I mean, you can stretch anywhere. You've got how many doors in a firehouse that you can stretch to? And even just going through mental reps of stuff like forcible entry. I get it. Not everybody has a force door, but being able to go through and think through looking at a door, how I would force this, right? That gets you something.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I know there's like some at least my department where it was a little iffy at first to like because we're volunteers, so I couldn't like go through ladders there by myself or do certain things. But yeah, no, you can really do a lot with very little. And I think that's awesome. What qualities do you think make a backseat firefighter an effective informal leader on scene or in the station?
Number one, knowing your job, right? Understanding and being good at your job. That's step one, because how can you lead people if you don't know what you're doing?
Right.
With that comes knowing how to be an officer, right? I mean, at least in Auburn, as a senior guy, usually you're the step up. So, I mean, you got to know how to handle these situations, right? I mean, we try to keep as much stuff as low as we can. We try to handle it between back steps, right, and not run stuff up the chain. So, I mean, just knowing your job, being good at your job, and understanding people and how people behave, how people react, right? Understanding that we're going to have disagree, or we're going to disagree. It is what it is. We're humans. We're not going to agree on everything. I love my shift. I think we're the best shift in the department. Maybe I'm a little biased, but we're not perfect. We still disagree all the time on things, and just understanding how to get through that and move on from it, right?
Right. Yeah. No, that's sorry. Okay. Sorry. What's your opinion on arrival assignments, how they are distributed or predetermined?
So I'm a big proponent of like predetermined assignments. I don't like the whole we'll figure it out when we get there thing. Like, I want to know, going to a fire, we already are, at least my shift already has writing assignments, so I know my job. But now I really want to know, like, hey, we're second due, we're search, right? Unless the first in audibled and said they're going in for a rescue.
Right.
It just takes the unnecessary thinking about it. The officer still has a decision to make. It's not handcuffing them into I have to do fire attack because I'm first due. But it takes the thinking out of it and lets people really get good and have that 30 seconds on the way to a fire to have that mental rep. Hey, this is what I'm getting ready to do. Like, this is how it's going to go. Right? It's the same thing to me with writing assignments. Knowing your job, not pulling the whole, well, if the fire's on your side, you're on the nozzle. If the fire's on my side, I'm on the nozzle thing. Like, I want to know, hey, I'm on the nozzle every fire if we're pulling a line, or
Right.
I'm forcing the door, right? It just takes it makes you so you are ready to perform when you get there, and you know what's going. There's no question. Hey, we're second due, first in's already in on fire attack. We're searching.
Do you have like the writing assignments for like medical stuff as well? Like, does it go for every call, or is it just like structure fire?
So my captain has written them out for structure fires, fire alarms. Obviously, we're kind of treating the same way, and medical calls.
Okay.
So like the nozzle guy grabs the med bags if we're rolling with 4 that day. If not,
Right.
then the guy in the back that's forcing the door and all that. Like I said, so we've got all that game planned for whether we're rolling with 3 or 4, and knowing what our assignments are regardless. But yes, for the most part, the only thing he doesn't is car accidents, because we're so weird with car accidents. Sometimes we get really bad ones, and sometimes we don't. That's not something we've game planned. It's something I would like. I plan on bringing up to him, and would like to actually have that game plan too. But I think for everything, right? It takes the the questioning out of it, especially for a newer guy.
Right.
I mean, I've been doing this 10 years and I still want to know what I'm doing. I don't want to wait till I'm on scene and have to react.
Right.
I want to be ready and know when the bell hits, hey, this is what I'm doing.
Yeah. And you kind of just touched on this, but what is the difference between like fire alarm and structure fire response? Are you treating them like pretty much the same? Or what are some differences between that?
So department wise, response is a little different. Both houses are still going like it's a structure
Okay.
fire. Out of district's just coming quietly.
Okay.
We don't we're not stretching lines on structure fires as much as some of us would like to. It's just not something that's feasible for a smaller department that's
Right.
decently busy, right? Trying to get lines and everything back on. I would love to stretch a line and get the ladder truck flying on every fire alarm. We just
Right.
don't always have that opportunity.
Right.
But I mean, I still treat it like a fire. It's a fire until we get inside and prove otherwise. The only thing that's changing is as the nozzleman, I'm grabbing a can
Right.
instead of the nozzle.
Got it. Yeah, I know that's like something at my department for a while was still like we're not gonna air pack up, or like it's just fire alarm. But kind of like just myself, not a department thing of just like still mentally trying to treat it the same. Because it not like when, but or not if, but when like it
Right.
comes in as a fire alarm and it actually turns out to be something.
We've had a couple in the last couple of years that have come in as fire alarms, and we've shown up and it's on fire. Surprise, surprise!
Right.
The fire alarm
Right.
means it's on fire,
Right.
right? I mean, we still have some guys that don't pack up on a fire alarm, and
Yeah.
I mean, not on my shift. My shift does, but there are. We're working on it. I think a lot of those have been broken of it, but I mean, when I first started, we definitely had guys that it's just a fire alarm,
Right.
right? And I
Got it.
mean, what's it hurt to put your gear on and
Right.
do your job?
Right. Yeah, no, and like especially like we're not very busy, so at the minimum, it still gets people in
Correct.
their packs. Another training, like we also go to, so we're like in Woodruff, pretty small area, like 30 square miles, and we're kind of in between the bigger areas, um, and we have like a few old people homes and one that we go to like frequently. And I know that like we had always just, you know, parked, positioned the trucks here and here. And then after talking to people and, going to classes and stuff, like I brought up to start maybe like at least mentally thinking about like how we would treat this if it was an actual fire, and like watching the officers like talk to each other and be like, okay, well, would we park the ladder truck here if like this building was actually on fire? It's like now, and I'm not, there very much anymore, but like at least when I saw this happen, I was like, okay, well now we're gonna start parking the truck here because if it was actually on fire, so like just like getting in the habit of doing stuff
Right.
like that.
Right. And that's what we try. Obviously, we've got some bigger factories in town, and it's not feasible necessarily because it's so big. Depending on where the fire ends up being, we
Right.
might have to relocate. Right. And I understand that, but like houses, if we get called for smoke calls or whatever, we try to park. Leave room for the ladder truck, everything like we would if it was actually on fire.
Right. So I haven't asked this question to anybody yet, so you're the first, but I want to get your opinion, pros and cons of social media. And I know that like it's great, it's got a ton of benefits, it's got a lot of negative as well. Like we like to bash each other a lot. And then on top of that, what are some pages that you follow that you would like to just throw out there for other people as well?
So the pro is, man, we are drowning in knowledge, right? We have so much knowledge right at our fingertips that we can, I mean, 30 years ago, they didn't have this, right? 15 years ago, they didn't have this. You could get on Facebook and watch videos of house fires. You had to go find someone with a VHS tape.
Right.
Right. I mean, there is so much knowledge out there that we can find and try for ourselves. Right. the downside of it is it's given some people a platform and a keyboard to hide behind, and they act like they've never been punched in the face before, right? So, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who talk a big game and just want to rag on everything everyone's doing, right? Without even seeing the whole, they're seeing a 15-second video and they don't even, or a picture, and don't even know what's going on. They don't get the full story. It's a snapshot in time.
Yeah. I see that like a lot on like search culture. Like, dude, like he gets, I mean, hundreds of comments, and I kind of feel bad a lot of time. It's just like, yeah, dealing with that is cannot be fun. But yeah, like what pages, I know you I see post a lot and are involved a lot on social media. So like what are a few pages that you like the most?
No, man, search culture is a big one. There's just so many that I follow that I can't even think of off the top of my head right now, man. I mean, there is so much good stuff out there. Anything from Fit to Fight Fire, Smoothbore Cartel, search culture. I mean, so much stuff out there for any facet of this job, right? Whether it's leadership, engine work, truck work. I mean, there is pages and pages of stuff. There are groups. ECR, Engine Company Resurrection, is a great one. Truck floor training. There is so much out there that I can't even begin to list. So many pages that I follow that I can't even off the top of my head think of right now that are wealths of knowledge.
Right. Yeah, no, that's okay. Where do I recruit firemen for podcast? Yeah, so usually I just like get them from, I mean, like I bring a guest on and then I usually like ask the guest like what other people they think would be good. All right. I don't know what just happened. I don't know. Can you see everything?
Yep, I'm good. I'm still here.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know why everything just went blank. Yeah, no. So I usually just like ask the person that was just previously on, or like yeah, just social media pretty much. But yeah, no, definitely text me about that because that'd be cool hearing from some California people for sure. Okay. All right, so how would you, another kind of completely shifting things on you, bridging the gap between the younger generation of firefighters and the older generation? So I know that's like a loaded question, but like differences that you see between that. I feel like we've kind of gone over a lot of that, but if there's anything else that you kind of wanted to talk about with that, if not, I can go into another question. But
so I guess I kind of am that bridge, right?
Right.
Born in the late '90s, like I didn't get brought up with technology like you would have, for example. But I'm not completely useless with a computer, right? So just understanding that like people learn things different ways, right? There are still people in the younger generations that learn things hands on, and there's people that and type it up and can learn it from watching a video, right? And understanding that it's a different generation now. I worked outside a lot when I was younger. I worked, landscaping and stuff through high school, and I mean that's not super common anymore for younger kids to come in and even know how to load a dishwasher or start a saw, right? And understanding that it's not their fault that they don't know these things. You don't know what you don't know, and understanding that we're really all not that different, because I know a lot of old guys that are way worse about being on their phone all day than young guys.
Right.
All know or all don't know something about something, right? Whether
Right.
that's the job, life, what have you. I hope I answered your question as well as I could
Yeah.
there.
No, and I think social media is a huge part of that. That is like a big difference. Um, yeah, best advice for move up drivers and move up officers from Brandon.
Oh, uh, I don't know because I mean, I'm not the most senior private on my shift, so I don't step up a whole lot. And we all rotate the three or the well, it's just me and another back step right now. We rotate driving every other shift.
Okay.
So driver wise, I can't really help with that. Being a step up officer, just understanding um, you're going from that ground level view now to like a 50-foot view, right? You're
Right.
not just worried about yourself now. You're worried about a crew and getting that job done, right? And that comes, I mean, even more important of knowing your first due, knowing, and I'm just as guilty, knowing where Knox boxes are on commercial structures and knowing where fire alarm panels are and really understanding, policies and how to handle situations that are going to come up in the station. Because I can promise the situations are always going to come up when someone's stepping up. It's never going to be when the actual officer is there.
Right. Um, yeah, for sure. Uh, currently, Lane, I'm currently fighting a battle in my department regarding recruit academy structure. How do we bridge the gap between state curriculum and street knowledge? Um, this is kind of something I know I didn't ask the question. This is not my question, but I could sit and talk about this for like an entire day because I'm like right in the middle of this of like coming on the podcast and meeting all these people that are super into the job and like victim first, and then have to sit 18 hours a week learning state curriculum. So I'm excited to hear your response to that because, yeah, it's an interesting road for sure.
It is. So this happens to be a guy that thinks he's being sly, but I can see his name. So this is a guy in my department. But there has to be a gap, right? Like I understand that we in Indiana at least we are pretty well handcuffed and we have to teach the IFSTA curriculum.
Right.
However, for the most part, the skills are not like cut and dry, right? Like masking up. The Indiana mask up skill just says they have to do it in less than a minute. It doesn't say how they have to do it. It just says they have to
Right.
do it. So why are we not starting to instill some of these skills the right way from the beginning instead of waiting until they're on shift or waiting until they're out of the academy and they're at the volley house, whatever. And now we have to break bad habits, right? I understand we have to teach the state curriculum, and I understand that there's only so much knowledge we can shove into them and still get them to pass that test. As much as I hate teaching to a test, unfortunately in Indiana, we're kind of handcuffed to it.
Right.
But that's where afterwards, that's why the academy shouldn't end once you get certified. There should be a period after where now we're doing, okay, one, we worked on these skills and we didn't just, do well the mask up just with normal mask up. We did masking up with gloves. Now we work on these skills and get these people proficient or decently proficient at the basics. Masking
Right.
up, so pulling lines, searching, forcing doors, throwing ladders before they go out and are allowed to either be on shift or start making calls, right? I mean, it doesn't have to end. The academy doesn't have to end when we get them certified.
Right.
Because day one, you come on shift, 7:31, and that horn goes off for a structure fire, you're going to be expected to perform.
Right.
And if you got set up for failure because you got taught the minimum state academy that we've already talked about doesn't teach you everything you need to know, you're going to be in trouble, and that's not fair. We've had a couple of new guys that have voiced that they felt like they did not learn what they needed to know, and that's more than just skills too. Talking about station life, I mean, I showed up for my first full-time shift at it. This wasn't my current department. I didn't even know I needed to bring bedding. Like I didn't know anything.
Right.
I showed up and I knew nothing about being a full-time fireman. There was
Right.
no, hey, this is how things are going to go. I knew how to be a volunteer. I knew to show up when my pager went off.
Right. Um, I like that you brought up the mask up thing because that's something like Bernard showed me, um, a few years ago, and um, we haven't done a whole lot like in my schooling right now with the mask up. We've done one mask up like station, I guess, and you'll probably laugh, but he had us like start with the air packs on the ground, like not even on our backs, and was like, "Okay, quick mask up, go." And I was like, "Wait, how does that make sense? Like, why isn't I don't know. It was just kind of interesting. So, um, yeah, no, it's an interesting balance trying to, and I'm sure it can't be easy for the instructors. Like, there's some instructors that I have that are like super, that are like, it's kind of sorry that I have to teach you this way. It's not really the right thing. So I'm sure it can't be easy, like as an instructor or an officer
Right.
in a department to make that balance. And I don't like they shouldn't have to do that either.
Right. It's
Um,
hard to not overload them because unfortunately at the end of the day they do have to pass that test.
right.
But you still want to pass on what you know, and what they need to know to be good at that skill or that topic if you're in the classroom, right?
Yeah, for sure. Um, do you ever struggle transitioning from shift life to normal home life? Any advice for someone who is struggling to find a good work life balance?
Absolutely. Absolutely I do. Um my I told you earlier, my fiance is an absolute saint. Um I I'm still working on it. I usually do well um being able to come home and just relax, hang out with the cats, whatever. But if I had a rough shift, whether that was we were up all night or some BS happened and I am angry, I have a
Right.
bad habit of bringing it home and she has to hear all about it, which she doesn't mind. She loves the fire service. She is
Right.
really ate up as a fire wife. Like she loves it. But she is gets tired of hearing me complain about stuff
Yeah.
that's really out of my control. So my biggest thing would be understanding that yes, you need to come home and get that out, but try and make the change or like understand that not everything is changeable. Not everything you need to be emotionally responsible for, right?
Right.
Like it's hard. I'm ate up. I want everybody to be 110% every shift and be into the job as much as I am, and it's not feasible. I know that it will never happen. You will never have 100% of the fire service completely bought in, and just trying to understand that and trying to communicate with her too is a big part that I've been working on and I'm struggling with. But um, letting her know, hey, like we had a rough night. I've been up all night, or hey, like so and so pissed me off, and
Right.
I need to go out in the garage and work out and like just give me a little bit. Don't talk to me for a little bit. Like I'm gonna be mean. I'm gonna go away. But this is why I'm not ignoring you. I'm not mad at you. I just need to go decompress before I can handle and switch to home life, right?
Right.
And I still struggle with it. It's a daily battle for me.
Got it. No, that's some good advice. Let's see. Jake Rose, who also said, "Love you, cousin. Speak the truth." He asked, "Do you believe in pre-employment recruit classes, no matter the size of your department?"
Yeah, love you too, cuz. And yeah, I really do. Um, I really think every department should have some sort of onboarding, right? Even if it's a lateral hire or you were a volunteer somewhere else, you've been state certified. I still think there needs to be some sort of pre-employment academy where, okay, you're certified. We need to get you trained to our expectations, our policies, our way of doing things, right? We need to
Right.
know and see that you can do the job, that you're not just on the job, that you can actually do it, right? And be proficient at it and understand what we're expecting as the department you're coming to work for or volunteer for or whatever.
Right. Do you have a recruit class at your department?
We do. We just started
Okay.
doing one. So it up until 2 years ago, we required uh, Fire 1 and 2 and EMT to be employed to even apply to our department. And then two
Okay.
years ago, they decided to open it up because we weren't getting anybody to apply, and we went from
Right.
3 applicants to like 70.
Okay.
And we have done 2 or 3 recruit classes now.
Got it.
So
Awesome. Sweet. Yeah, I don't. Let's see. Okay. So are you do you help at all with that recruit?
yeah,
Like okay. What are some, I guess, kind of back to what I started with at the beginning, things that you see that like stand out for you. So if you see a person doing this or a person doing that, making like mental notes of a person, um things that you like seeing, especially during the recruit academy. I hopefully will be starting one soon, so I'm kind of interested in with that.
just like a good work ethic. Um, like I said, we talked about earlier, you don't know what you don't know, but that willingness to come up and ask questions and figure out what you don't know, right?
Right.
Hey, coming in, whether that's as simple as, hey, I don't know how to do this. Hey, can you help me with this? Hey, is there a better way? Right? Even coming on to shift. Hey, what are my expectations of throughout the day? Like, what does each seat do? What chores do we have to get done? That thing, and that willingness to come up and ask those questions, because I'm just as guilty. I don't always think about, hey, this guy is 22 years old and just moved out of mom and dad's house and brand new to the fire service. He knows absolutely nothing.
Right.
And part
Yeah.
of that's on the shift too, to understand, hey, these kids don't know that, but that willingness to come up and ask questions. I mean, that says a lot about a person, right?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Um yeah, if anybody has any more questions, make sure to throw those in. I'll get that before we wrap it up. But um let's see. Yeah, I got through training fitness. Who's number one on the fire ground? I always like asking that question. Um yeah, and the importance of outside training too. Are there any other than Oathkeepers, like ones that have stood out to you that you would recommend to other people?
So many, man. So firemanship is always great. uh, Cody and Jeff do a great job over there. I was over there last year. Great Lakes Hot up north of Detroit. Sean Duffy and the Build Your Culture guys do a great job. I'll be there next summer, um, taking a class there. That's always a great one. I'm just trying to think. Carolina Fire Days is always good. I've heard a lot of good things about March Mayhem out in Idaho. Um, there are so many good conferences all over the country. I mean,
Right.
you don't guaranteed there is any given weekend there is one within 3 or 4 hours of you happening
Right.
somewhere. It's
Right.
it's it's so amazing, and you'd be amazed. I mean, nobody from one side of the country might have ever heard of it, and it might be the best conference ever.
Right.
And
Yeah,
it's
that's
just a
true.
little diamond in the rough because nobody actually knows about it.
Right. Right. Yeah, well, yeah, like I said, I got through everything. I appreciate you taking the time. Um, and yeah, I mean, I look forward to hopefully meeting you someday. I've had like probably 8 of the people I've had on here I haven't met, so I'm looking forward to that. I got one more question I'll
Congratulations,
throw at you
friend.
quick. How do you help a probationary firefighter who has been told 5 different ways how to do something and was told they were all the best way to do it?
So we touched on this a little earlier too, some, right? Getting them to understand that I'm going to show you one way, someone else might show you a different way, someone else is going to show you this way, and maybe none of them are the wrong way, right? I'm
Right.
not a big fan of saying anything's the wrong way. I mean, there are certain things that I will say, hey, there is a wrong way to do this, right? And I'm sure there are wrong ways to do things. If it's you know gonna get you hurt, whatever, it's not,
Right.
or make the situation worse. But understanding that what works for me might not work for you, and might not work for someone else, but you guys might have your way of doing it that you think is fantastic and it's the best, right? So
Yeah.
taking something from everybody
Mm-hmm.
and molding it into your own, right? I mean, like I said earlier, nothing I do is something I came up with. It's all stuff I've learned from other people and molded into how I operate and how I do things, right?
Right. Yeah, and I touch on that. Like I posted a video, I don't know, last month, 2 months ago maybe, of like doing a mask up on Instagram. And it got quite a bit of comments and stuff, and something that like a lot of people would say would be like this one's funny, like why do American firefighters do it like this, or like why don't you come on the mat like the truck with your mask on? And I often respond to these people, and like they actually like will DM me because I'll ask them for like, can you like show me videos of like you doing it, or like how do you do it? And I kind of always end with it like just whatever works for you, and then just get good at doing that, because like I'm not gonna like have a conversation with a person that's like if you tape your first two straps, and I tape, you know, these two, or I only tape this one, and this guy tapes these two, like it doesn't matter. Like I don't know. I just feel like I needed to throw that out there. Just
Yeah,
find something
what
that works for
matters
you that's
is being
proficient.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what matters. Being good.
Right. Yeah, and like the I don't know, for some reason there was like 20 people on there from Germany and the Netherlands that were all like ripping on me because America's so far behind, apparently.
Maybe if they wore the helmets over there, then they'd understand.
Right. That's what I said. But yeah, no. I appreciate you coming on, and yeah, I don't have much else. Just I really appreciate it. And I'm going to repeat guests, you know, way later down the road. So we'll hopefully have you back on at some point or another in the far future.
All right. I appreciate you having me on, buddy.
Yeah, for sure. And thanks to everyone that asks questions. There's a lot of people asking questions, and I love to see that. Um, keep killing it, Layne. Are you planning to promote soon, or sticking to the back step for now?
I would like to stick to the back step. That would be preferable until the day I retire. However, I know that it's not feasible, and
Right.
eventually I will have to promote. Luckily, right now at my department, we're pretty young, but I don't see any promotions happening anytime soon.
Right. Got it. Hey, you got a lot of people that like you. You're popular.
Apparently, I don't know why. I'm nobody from nowhere, but apparently people like me.
All right. Well, yeah, like I said, thanks to everyone, and thanks a lot.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.